In the beginning of the movie, we are shown the scene of Kashmir of the 19th of January 1990, where we see kids named Shawa and Abdul playing cricket with their friends. Shawa starts calling Sachin's name after performing well in his match. But some people present there do not like it and they start beating Shawa. Abdul, who was Shiva's childhood friend, manages to save Shawa from those people and runs away with him from there anyhow. That's why it is said that there is no religion in friendship. It is said that the year of 1990 was that time of Kashmir when the right to life of Kashmiri Pandits was being taken away by the terrorist. The entire terrorist movement in this regard was being led by Farooq Ahmad, who was also known by the name of Bitta Karate by the people. He was gathering everyone and giving his promise that if this country is ours, then it will also be our rule. On the other side, we see a lady who was taking her sick child to the doctor. Then the policeman present there tells her not to go ahead as it is not safe for her to step out alone. Thereafter, a terrorist shoots that policeman down with his gun from the front and tells that lady that, "I will marry your daughter to my younger brother." Because of which the lady spits on his mouth and the man gets angry and shoots her too. Seeing this, her daughter gets very scared and starts crying loudly. In the next scene, we see an old Pandit, whose name was Pushkar, and he was looking for his grandson Shiva, as he had not returned home yet. Then, he finds Shiva and he starts taking him along with his friend Abdul to home. Then, an army jeep comes from behind and an officer sitting in it tells Pushkar to come with us as it is not safe to be out at this time. Pushkar refuses to go with him. Unfortunately, the army jeep moves forward a little, it explodes. On the other side, we see Pushkar's house where Beta Karate had entered Pushkar's house with his terrorist friends. And he was looking for the father of Shiva. Because of which Shiva's father hides in a drum kept there, but Beta Karate gets the news of his hiding there. And he kills him by firing bullets on the drum indiscriminately. Shiva's mother, whose name was Shraddha, was seeing all this with her own eyes and she gets very scared. Then, we see that Pushkar has also come there. Bitta Karate forces Shraddha to eat rice stained with her husband's blood. He makes a promise to her, that if you eat it, I will leave you and your child alive. Now the scene shifts. We are shown the present day where we see a man named Brahmadatta, who was still living in Kashmir. To meet him, here comes Pushkar's younger grandson, Krishna Pandit, who was living in Delhi now. Krishna brings with him Ashtaya of his grandfather Pushkar because now, his grandfather Pushkar was dead. When Krishna comes there, some other people also come there, who were once friends of Pushkar. These people include Mahesh, who was a doctor, Harish, who was DGP in his time, and a friend, who was a journalist. Krishna didn't know anything about the death of his parents as to how did they die. He feels that his parents were died in an accident. With this, the scene of movie shifts again, and we are shown the Krishna Auditorium of Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, of Delhi, where Krishna was sitting amongst many students and was listening to the lecture of Professor Radhika. Radhika was instigating many students sitting here and she was saying that Kashmir needs independence from India. It was the same time when Article 370 was removed from Kashmir. Many people were against it, including Professor Radhika. Professor Radhika also feels that Kashmir should not have been a part of India, and she also tells that there was no genocide happened in 1990 and also no Kashmiri Pandit was killed. Listening to her words, Krishna also starts to believe all this to be true, after which, Krishna fights for the presidential election of his college. Professor Radhika takes advantage of this election and she tries and manipulates Krishna to bring him on her side. Now the scene shifts and we are shown the 1989 scene where Pushkar goes to meet Brahmadatta as he was an IAS officer. He speaks to Brahmadatta that Kashmiri Pandits need protection and especially my son, as his son has been branded as an Indian police informer by Bitta Karate. That is, a Hindustani spy. After listening to all Pushkar's words, Brahmadatta says that it is fine. I do something. Then Brahmadatta and Pushkar were going on the way, when Pushkar gets down and starts taking vegetables, then the vegetable seller gives him Pakistani currency while returning the money to Pushkar. Pushkar does not like this thing. Then the vegetable seller says that the country in which you live, you will get the currency of the same. Brahmadatta gets angry after seeing all this and gets that person locked up in jail. After which, Brahma goes to talk to the CM about the safety of the Pandits. On which, CM blames Brahma himself and says that you are an IAS officer of this place, and it is your job to maintain peace. CH goes ahead completely ignoring Brahma. A few seconds later, we see CM was talking to Bitta Karate. This means that Bitta Karate had full support of CM in whatever he was doing. Then the movie scene shifts again, and we are shown the present day, where Brahma's wife was showing Krishna the picture of his parents, because Krishna had never seen his parents before. Now here Brahmadatta speaks something about genocide, then Krishna tells him that no genocide happened. All this is just a rumor. Krishna further tells that on that night only, 2 lakhs Pandits had left Kashmir, not 5 lakhs as it is generally said, and the people who killed them were also the people of the army. Krishna does not stop here, and he further tells that we are responsible for people who are becoming terrorists. Simply because if you drag their children tied to a jeep and call everyone terrorists for the same reason, then it is obvious that they will become terrorists. Brahma gets very angry after hearing all this from Krishna. He then takes Krishna to flashback, and the story reaches once again, at the same night, when Bitta Karati was asking Shraddha to eat rice stained with her husband's blood. Shraddha did not want to lose her children. That's why she eats rice, after which, the terrorists leave from there. After that, Pushkar calls Brahma and tells him that those crooks have shot and killed my son, and he also says that when the same thing would happen with the rest of India, then remember that you too have become one among the same people because of whom this would be happening. Later, he sits in a truck with his remaining family and goes away from there. Now Pushkar with his family starts living in the tents where thousands of people like him were living. The Indian army had brought them there by saving their lives from those terrorists. When they ran away leaving money and everything in their homes, they had neither food to eat nor water to drink. Whatever little food the Indian army people used to provide them with, they had to manage with that food only. They used to eat half-stomach food at a time. Now those people just start spending their days somehow, with a single hope that one day, they will go back to their own home. And then one day, IAS Brahma comes there to meet all of them. Brahma now had been promoted and he had become the advisor of Home Minister. He comes there along with the Home Minister. All people who had run away from Kashmir start telling their problems. Then Pushkar comes from behind with a poster and demands the removal of Article 370. Here, Brahma feels very bad, seeing Pushkar in this condition. Pushkar could not recognize Brahma as his eyesight were lost to the great extent and he was also mentally disturbed. Later, Brahma meets Pushkar's family and he says that he can get a house nearby for them and he can also arrange a job for them. Shraddha accepts this offer of Brahma. Now they start living in the house arranged by Brahmadatta, but the situation here too was not good. On the other hand, we see Bitta Karati, who was himself a terrorist, and yet he reaches the media and there he also has an interview in which Bitta Karati says that he has killed only 20 to 25 people because those people were from RSS and they were calling themselves the freedom fighters. Seeing this all on TV, Pushkar feels very bad and says that Bitta Karati has reached out to media and one day, he would reach the Prime Minister. I've been trying for so many years to reach Prime Minister but to no avail. Then slowly, Pushkar was taking the last breath of his life. Before he dies, he requests Krishna to spread his Ashtaya in his Kashmir home and this was his last wish. Now the movie scene shifts to present time where Brahmadatta was telling Krishna about his own parents. Krishna starts thinking that Professor Radhika was telling him the wrong thing. Moreover, she had also told Krishna that after you go to Kashmir, you must definitely meet Bitta Karati. Then in the next scene, all of Pushkar's friends take Krishna to Pushkar's house, where Shivaji idol was removed from Shivaji temple and the same flag was put there, which used to be the flag of terrorists 30 years ago. Then those people removed that flag from there and then Krishna scatters his grandfather Pushkar's ashes in the same house and now in this way, Pushkar's last wish is fulfilled and his soul gets peace to return to his Kashmir home back. Having done all the work there, Krishna goes to meet Bitta with a man, and the man was none other than Abdul, a childhood friend of his brother Shiva. Then on the way, Krishna asks Abdul about what had happened at that time. Abdul starts telling everything to him, and Krishna records all this in his phone. Abdul tells him that me and my family were not against the Kashmiri Pandits. Now we see that Krishna meets Bitta Karati. Bitta Karati also tells Krishna that he did not kill anyone, and Kashmiri Pandits left this place themselves, and the people who killed them were army people. Bitta also does his comparison with freedom fighters like Bhagat Singh and Mahatma Gandhi. After hearing all this, Krishna feels that Bitta Karati is saying the right thing, and on this matter, he also gets into an argument with Brahma. When the water goes above the head, Brahma gets angry and puts 3 files in front of Krishna. When Krishna opens the files, he is blown away because it also had a photo of his brother Shiva and his mother, and they were killed by Bitta Karati. After knowing all this, Krishna goes back to his college, where Professor Radhika was singing a song. Radhika asks Krishna to give a speech because he was about to become the president of that college, and now, that time has come when all the people of the college were about to know the truth. Krishna takes the mic and says that many years ago, a sage whose name was Rishi Kashyap had gone to Kashmir, and he revered there for a long time and gained knowledge, and after him, the name of this state was named Kashmir. During course of time, many sages and wise people went to Kashmir and did a lot of research there, and in the same way, many Pandits together made Kashmir. But one day some terrorists come over there, who had initially come there to take shelter, and the Kashmiri Pandits had let them live there. But gradually, they came to know how special Kashmir was, and then they started attacking Kashmiri Pandits. They not only killed Kashmiri Pandits, but also those Muslims who raised their voice against them, and such Muslims were painted as anti-Islam. Kashmiri Pandits, who were once in majority, were reduced to the minority in Kashmir. 5 lakhs Kashmiri Pandits left Kashmir, and it deepened the mistrust between Hindu and Muslim in Kashmir. Krishna further tells that today, we have full power, that we can go back and live there, and no one can stop us from doing so. But Kashmiri Pandits were driven out of their own homes, and they could not even go back to their homes. Throughout his speech, people tried to stop him several times. But now Krishna's truth was understood, and that is why he kept on speaking without stopping. Krishna also says that our leader people only want masala. They just want an India-Pakistan person. But no one talks about starvation. No one talks about the atrocities being done on any weak and our innocent Hindu-Muslim brothers come in their words. They die fighting among themselves, after which Krishna cries and tells the story of his mother Shraddha and his brother Shiva, and with this Krishna's speech takes us into the flashback. The day his mother Shraddha and brother Shiva were killed. Here we see that Pushkar is living in the house with his family, and then one day, Bitta Karati and his people come here in army dress. They also capture the entire area which IAS Brahma had given to them to live. Bitta Karati starts molesting Shraddha. He also kills everyone one after the other, and with this the movie ends here.